Hello? Hello. Hello, everybody. It's Nation here. I'm painting lots of rats, and I have an incredibly messy desk right now. I'm working on many projects all at once. I'm working on Thankwall and Bone Ripper. That's going on a painting tutorial. I'm working on this dude. He's going on a painting tutorial. All at once. Oh, and I forgot to mute myself. Painting tutorial. Wonderful. That was weird, that. Him dead first. Nice. Interesting, that. It sort of cut in through the sound halfway through. That was weird. How weird. I sound really clear, though. I like this microphone. Oh, no, I don't want to be a full screen. No. Back to there. Oh, I don't need that playing. Cool. Yes, so back to where we are. So, going to be working on rat ogres mainly, but I'm kind of batch painting them as well. If I get around to it, I may paint some more orcs, because I had a game of Age of Sigmar and I played against Chaos and I won, and I was like, oh, okay, so this is what it's like not to play Sylvaneth. This is quite fun. Playing Sylvaneth, not so much fun. No, not playing. So I don't play, as in I don't have a Sylvaneth army. It's playing against Sylvaneth, not so much fun. So, yes. And my friend who plays Sylvaneth, who was also playing the Corn Army, says, "I'm glad you've got rekindled your faith in like Age of Sigmar, and I'm sorry I destroyed it in the first place." And I was like, "You should be. Why would anyone ever create rules for Sylvaneth like they did? Why? Why would you do that?" Why would you ever do something like that? They're disgusting people. So this is what we're going to end up looking for. Matoga, focus. There we are. So we're going for this kind of look. And yes, Bazooka J Rambo's in the house. Hello, Bazooka J Rambo. I've had a very good evening so far. I went out to an all-you-can-eat Brazilian restaurant, and it's all-you-can-eat meat. And it sounds weird, I know, but they literally, like, cook it in the kitchen, skewer it with this giant skewer, and just carve it off onto your plate. Onto your plate. It's just like, dear Lord, this is amazing. And I took a friend of mine there because I've been there once before, and he, like, no joke, he looked like he'd been pleased by a very attractive woman. After he was just like, oh, God damn it. So, yes, it's very nice. It was very nice. And I came home and spent a bit of time on my missiles. It was very nice, and watching a program, and like, it's a weird thing. As I get older, I actually get a bit more teary-eyed on a lot of things now. So if you ever watch those, what are they watching? They're watching the big SOS Big Build or something like that. It's basically where someone in the community is like falling on hard times, and like the entire community come together and build a house for them or something crazy like that. And yeah, it was I was welling up, and I was like, man, getting older, I well up a lot these days. I don't know what that's about, but hey. So yes, Sean Blake is in the house. Hello, Sean. How are you today? As I said, I'm being quite musical. Ravendelve Tactical in the house. Yes, Ravendelve's in the house. I have no idea why I'm singing like that. It just happens. So yes, I have a very messy desk at the moment. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to just deal with it. I'm working on lots of projects at once. I don't have any commissions on the go, which I think this is why I have a messy desk, because I'm very much in hobby butterfly mode. I'm just like, ooh, I'm gonna paint this. Ooh, I'm gonna paint this. Ooh, I'm gonna paint this. But I have been meaning to get my Skaven army done, and surprisingly, it's one of those few armies where I'm on the ball with it, and everything is essentially assembled, apart from 10 plague bearers. I need to get them done. But everything else is assembled. I'd say about 70% of it is painted. I'm just working on the big things now. I've kind of done the big grind of getting through all the little stuff early, apart from some of these guys. I need to get these finished. You mentioned I had rats. I do have rats. I'm painting rats as we speak. So yes, the Skaven are a very odd army because I've literally I seem to have bent my batch painting skills to all their capabilities, and this army is very big and is coming together quite rapidly. So yeah, it's interesting how quickly I can get stuff done now. Because I only started this army this year, and yeah. So I said I was going to do 4 armies in a year. Skaven will be done soon. I've done Siege Demons. They're done pretty much. I don't think I have anything else to paint for them, so I would say they're done. What else? Custodes army I'm working on. I've got to do some Night Lords again. What else am I working on? Working on many fantasy things. I'm doing a chaos fantasy army, and I want to do it a kind of. I want to say beastmen, but I mean, how do I put it? Beastmen, as in all kinds of beasts, just not the ghost beast kind of people you traditionally get from Games Workshop. No, I'm talking about like werewolves and minotaurs and most of the stuff from Miss Miniatures, because there's like elephant people, there's rhino people, there's goat people, there's sheep people, I think there's lion people, wolf people, and I'm like, you know what? I'm just gonna try and get all of these and make one big, like, horrifying circus of animal people and like dragon ogres and lizard men and stuff like that. And when I say lizard men, I mean like lizard ogre style things. I got a few of those to do. So yeah, that's that one. And then I've got another army kind of ready to go. I'm adding more to my Thousand Suns though at the moment because I got the rules and I'm like, ooh, predators. They're quite fun. So I'm gonna try and get some predators and have a go with them. It should be fun. I'm still hunting around for more rhinos and predators and all kinds of fun bits. Yes, I am painting the rats today. And I'm going to... I would like to get all of these done soon. My phone's just beeping at me. I don't know what that means. My missus might be trying to tell me something. Maybe, maybe not. Graham Riggs in the house. Hello. Anyone getting a Forge Bane? I am so tempted to get Forge Bane because I'm really tempted to get a Necron list and also Admech. Maybe. We'll see what happens with that. Maybe. I'd like to get Flesh Bane, but just can't afford the time or money and another big box of minis. Even though I'd love to get the new Knights, still getting through Necromunda. Yeah, that's fair enough. Yeah. Yes. So there are plenty of things which probably should be spending money on other things in life. But the Forge Bane kit, and this is a tragic thing as well, because I noticed all the shops where you buy it and you get a discount. It actually, it's on release weekend or whatever, it's like 25% off or whatever. But after a couple of weeks, it's no longer at 25% off. It goes like 15% off. So it kind of encourages people to buy more on release day. So it becomes a bit like a weird cult, a hobby, obsession, addiction. That's it. It's actually an addiction to buy it on release day because it's cheaper. Let alone if you buy it from GW, then there's no reason. No, I think the factor as well is there also everyone's a little bit concerned that they will run out. Because stuff like Shadow Wars Armageddon, that scenery, sold out. No more. Not getting any more. Like, right. Okay. So everyone's a little bit like, I don't want to run out. I want to get this kit. So they get it, and it's not necessarily one of those kits they run out of. I wonder if GW learned from that, or if that just was a thing to like kickstart their Mechanicum scenery or something. I don't know. It's always the scary thing though, because you're like, that's really good value for money. But if it sells out, I'm not going to get that really good value for money again. Or what do I do? Like that Night Renegades game. But to be fair, I think that kind of died its own death. It was kind of like everyone was like, yeah, we can still get it. And then GW like, yeah, no, you can't get it anymore. Everyone was like, oh, I really need it now. So, Ralph Hummel's in the house. Hello, good sir. How are we today? So yeah, I think that's one of the funny things about Games Workshop is they'll release something and you're never 100% sure if it's limited edition or if it's going to be out forever. Because there is a certain point where if it's been out forever, that it just probably doesn't sell anymore. Like Burning of Prospero and Betrayal of Calth, do they still sell? I'd imagine they probably do for any 30k players, because they're just like, cool, easy, nice, handy, easy, get hold of stuff. I mean, to be fair, I think that's more a supplement for Forge World. If it's a kit which means Forge World doesn't have to produce so many resin minis and then potentially get more problems because resin's the more difficult product to make. You might get miscasts or mold slips or whatever, and then you have to replace it. It basically is a much more expensive equipment. Sorry, not equipment. Resource, product, something, material. That's the word. So yeah, it probably does just make more sense for them to have done the plastic kit and be like, right, okay, so that's sorted Forge World out. They can carry on doing all their vehicles and all the lovely things. They don't have to worry about standard squad sizes anymore. So they can just get ripped on for casting their Primarchs in weird positions. And not saying the Primarch sculpts are in weird positions, I'm just saying like the mold slips come out a bit weird sometimes. You're like, huh? How'd you guys get that wrong? Or quality control was not on ball that day. So I feel so bad for them because they get ripped on so hard. Like, everyone's got their eyes on them. Just like, you did a mold slip. How dare you? Like, oh God, guys. It's resin. I've done casting as well. It does happen. The amount of wastage on resin is incredible. How much goes wrong and how much just gets thrown in the bin. Like, if you were to go into the casting area of Forge World, you could probably make about 8 or 9 Primarchs just from the bits which have been thrown away because they weren't cast properly. Because they'll come out on like a sprue. And some of the sprue might be fine, but the rest of it might be knackered. So the problem is you can't sell a partly working piece. You have to sell the whole piece. So they'll just bin the whole thing. And yeah, if you had access to that bins box, you would have a lot of conversion stuff to do. A lot of stuff. But yeah. 4 stars in the house. Hello. It's not like 4-star Dragon Ball, is it? Because that would be cool if it is. There's a limited edition Hobbit starter game with the Radagast the Brown that's still available. Oh, interesting. That'd be quite cool. Explanation. I thought that about Betrayal at Calth and Necromunda being potentially limited edition games, and went for them. Yeah, but they're still around. It's weird. Blood Bowl as well, because they're previous limited edition games. Chris Bees and Hayes. Interesting. So Ralph Hummel says, I wonder how long before they go away from resin and go to 3D print on demand. I think the whole 3D print thing it's got to make some more leaps and bounds before it becomes that sort of thing, because 3D printing, if you want good quality, takes hours, like hours to get it right. Whereas pouring and casting takes probably takes you about a minute to mix the resin, and then pouring it in 30 seconds to a minute, degassing it maybe 5 minutes, something like that maybe, and then like hardening time half an hour to an hour. Whereas a really nicely 3D printed model may take you 4 hours, something like that, maybe more. Not with industrial high-res printers anymore. Now, that might be a technology I'm not familiar with. I know you get the UV ones where they kind of like pulls them out and like that, but I don't know enough about the tech behind it. If they've got to the point where they can do it faster than casting and cheaper than casting, then yeah, that will be the tipping point. Once they can get it to that stage where the 3D printing is faster, better quality, and cheaper, that's when you're going to see the switch, and everyone will just switch that way. Some of the display models at Warhammer World 3 printer. Oh yeah, I don't doubt that some of the display ones are. Just in mass production. It's like a thing over money versus time and all that jazz. So the electricity and materials are going to be minimal, but it's going to be time, and that's the way. So time is money and all that jazz. I'm also drinking a cup of tea. Yeah. So I do apologize. Yeah. I will be intrigued to see when that day comes around. I think we got a while yet. Unless, as I said, if technology jumps ahead again, and technology is jumping ahead quite a lot these days, then yeah, I would not be surprised if you saw the switch. It's whether I wonder how it works on a large scale as well, because you can only print as large as your printer will allow. Whereas casting, as soon as the master is done, it could effectively be molded, and then once it's molded, well, I mean, you can effectively mold anything as well. You don't have to mold a 3D print. You can mold a sculpt. So I think that's how they did a lot of the vehicles and stuff, and like Will Hayes and that lot. I think they may have just sculpted the masters off of that, and then yeah. So you don't need a massive 3D printer to pull that kind of thing off. Whether will you get 3D printers big enough to do that? Probably. There probably are some right now. As I said, I'm not overly up to speed on the tech. I just understand logic on business because it would just be money. It's all about cost. It's all about money at the end of the day. If it's faster and quicker and less expensive to 3D print, then there would be no reason why Games Workshop wouldn't do that. It may even cut out their tooling for doing their plastics if it becomes that fast. But it has to become that fast first, which is the sort of crux of the whole thing. It has to be fast. Cannot be any other way. Cannot be like slow, but it's really cheap. That won't work. It has to be fast. So it'll be interesting though. If they do it and they manage to pull it off, will Games Workshop be like the pioneers of this sort of technology? Will they drive it and push it forward and then potentially make something? I mean, do they have scientists that are making stuff there? That's a question. Do Games Workshop have scientists there making new 3D printers? Or would they buy it just from another factory? I don't know. That'd be an interesting thought. Are Games Workshop planning on making their own 3D printers? Have they got enough money to bundle into that kind of research? Let's see what's the chat. Surrey mass production is a different story for now. I agree. Yeah. Ralph, I was going to mention you two can see the print lines on them, though it means more cleanup if they were to sell them. Yeah, it's those mold lines. That is the kicker on them. Eliminate the print lines. It's those striations. If they can get rid of them, which is one thing, casting resin out of molds, you don't get any of that unless the original mold had that, and then you're basically photocopying what you get. So yeah, scale, that is an issue because it needs to be done by hand by now. Yeah, that's sure. They could start print onto demand bits right now because they have 3D files in their way for 3D printing tooling is no longer needed, really. Yeah, fair enough. It's oh, wonderful. Yeah, it's tooling. Yeah, 3D files. You kind of harkening back to the days of where you used to have mail order and stuff like that. You could order all the little bits you wanted. You could order any bit you wanted from any model. It was amazing. They ship it out, but yeah, money versus demand and everything like that. Guess at the end of the day, GW4 do I want to keep some experience around fixed models, etc. I'm sure they will do. But if it becomes cheaper for them to do it that way, they probably will. Insert generic insult. I love the name. Thank you. I don't know why I say thank you, but that made me chuckle. Thank you for making me chuckle. I think regardless, GW will survive the inevitable recast because of their prospects with the new Warhammer cafes and stuff. Yeah, at the end of the day, they're still the guys making it, and they're the guys designing it, and they're still the guys that are gonna get the majority of the people. It's the people who do the recasts and buy the recasts and stuff like that. They will. There's nothing you can about. I would love to say you could, and you probably shut them down on AliExpress, but they'll spring up again the next day because they're in China, and China can do whatever they want. So yeah, it's one of those things. Oh, well, I've molds for the last time at least 5 to 10 years, I would guess, but over time we see the technology shift to print on demand product. Yeah, probably. So this is an interesting one. So this is from BB. No, I don't know. So probably a troll, but hey, you're over 40 years old. I'm not. You're over 40-year-olds still playing with action figures and toys. That's a tale. That's a tail sign of immature brain that isn't fully developed or developed at all. from the kid's brain to a mature adult BB. Oh, wonderful. I love the trolling. I wouldn't be surprised if Australia and New Zealand had more 3D cast molds that GW bought. So yeah, those guys get a rough deal on the whole post out to that. It's pretty brutal. Thank you for backing me up. Insert generic insult. Wonderful. I don't mind being called a child. It's fine. It's fine. It's nice to be called young when you're getting older. It's interesting to be called old when you're younger, and also be called young when you're older. Like it's like you're really old but really young at the same time, and I'm like, I'm kind of in between all of that. So, right, okay, let's carry on painting. So, yes. So, but yeah, when they moved to 3D printing, yeah, I think you're gonna have to be like nearly the Star Trek replicator kind of level of making them. I would have thought it's gonna have to be quick, like real fast. And I wonder how big a unit like that would have to be for that to kind of take effect. I don't know. Can someone Google up like large 3D printers and see how fast they are? Because that would be interesting to see. If they're super fast, then yeah, I mean the technology is probably already here. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if it already like something like that is already here, but I don't know what kind of production levels you would need to get to be able to deal with that. It's got me thinking. Like, how would you do that? The interesting thing is like the newer versions of the 3D printers are using that ultraviolet light thing to basically harden the resin as it's coming out, or like harden liquid resin as it's coming out of the mold. Only downside with that, if you were doing on like a large scale, like a gigantic scale, how dangerous ultraviolet lights you would have to use to be able to, like, the larger you get, the more effectively, I guess, it's radiation it's blasting at it. So to be able to increase the size capacity of something like that, you then have to increase the possibility of larger amounts of radiation, which is borderlining like really dangerous territory. So, yeah, I don't know. That could be interesting if they went down that road. It's interesting. How interesting. There's some funny trolling going on there. La 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 la. Yeah, let's do that. There we go. Let's get rid of them. So yes, okay, so Rivendell Tactica says Outer Circle, an Australian YouTube channel, have videos about the topic and can explain better than me. Oh, interesting. I would love to say I'm going to go research this, but I end up painting more than I do anything else. So yeah, yeah. I would love to say I'd research it more. I may do one day, but I like getting more of these done, so I can either sell them or whatever to make more. So, sorry, Bazooka. I was like, yeah, this guy's being weird. So, yeah, I'll just put him in the timeout for a minute. Rick and Morty tier philosophical arguments. Yeah, yeah. Very left wing. I get shot for saying that. Right, okay, let's move on to painting some skin and stuff. Um, so I've got two kinds of skin color. So I'm going for this dark color one. Which is, I can see a big mold line, which I didn't see before on his bicep. That's really annoying. I'm gonna have to do something about that. And on the other one, I really didn't clean up that one at all. I didn't really do that one either. I must have been in a rush. Oh well. So yeah, then we got Brownie. So we're gonna raise this kind of brown skin tone up a bit. And then we've got Pinkies, which again we'll raise those one up, and the Pinkies end up looking like that. So what have we got? So we've got two dark, two brown, two pink. Oh, wonderful. I'm loving a conversation tonight. It's very entertaining. So yes. So back on a little bit of about what's going on with the channel, what's happening, and everything like that. So I'm gearing up to get some more videos out. So I've got a video done for that mole rat thing. If you looked on my Facebook page, I painted that up. There's a tutorial coming on that. A tutorial coming out on the creature caster warrior demon I did. One on Azrat, which is the fire demon. There's going to be a video on painting up this dude once I get him finished. There's going to be a video on painting up this guy when he's finished. I'm going to get an Alpha Legion video done soon because they're quite easy to do and I can get them done pretty quick. I want to, if I can, do a little painting tutorial on every kind of Skaven that I paint. So, for example, focus. No, closer. Really doesn't like it when it's that close. Oh, it did for a second and just went, yeah. Clan rat. La. So it'd be nice to do that. Whether I do or I don't know. But I do intend to do one at least for a rat ogre. So I've left one of the rat ogres unpainted. So we can do a tutorial on that. What else? I need to get back onto doing the Tale of Four Demons thing and get that done. I intend to paint up dragons. I've got a new dragon for a new company coming out, actually. That's going to be fun. I'm going to get that painted up. So that's a dragon that's not released yet, and I'm going to get that painted up. Is it Bicorn Miniatures, I think it's for. So that's coming soon, which will be fun. Because my friend is doing the productions on it, and I was given an opportunity to paint. So I took the opportunity. And So, I was reading the chat, just going back to the logistics, partly because of logistics shipping halfway around the globe, pretty thinned out distribution channels over the continent, and some due to import tariffs and charges. Yeah, that's the problem. Crispy's maybe when he grows up, he can come back and join the mature kids and adults. Maka, one of the creators, helps run a steel business in Australia, so knows what import, etc. for business. Fair enough. I get things relatively cheap here in Ireland, and I probably couldn't afford Australia prices. Oh, you're in Ireland. Oh, nice to know. Ralph, all GW kits are made in China, which is a lot closer to Australia. I'm not 100% sure if all kits are made in China. I might be wrong. You might know more than me because you're a bit closer to the company than I am, but I thought Nottingham did some stuff. I might be wrong, though. I'm not sure if all the tooling gets done in China, but yeah, I'm not sure. Look, it's a home. It's a insult, but you live in the European Free Trade Zone for now. Now, interesting, Ralph. If insert generic insult is in Southern Ireland, he will probably stay in the European Free Trade Zone. Just might be me in the UK, who might not be in the European Free Trade Zone for much longer, depending on what our government does, because they seem to be all over the place at the moment, which is quite entertaining. To be fair, he's just like, you have no idea what you're doing, do you? So it's really funny. So anyone who's in Europe and watches this back, like, you all know about Brexit. You're like, you heard it. You like it happened, right? No one has a clue what's going on. Like, I don't think anyone in the EU knows what's happening. No one in the UK knows what's happening. Apparently, someone has a plan, but no one knows that plan. So, it's just got to the point now where it's funny because there's a lot of people in the UK which didn't understand what Brexit meant. And I'm not going to go into this too deep, but I found it entertaining. So there's a lot of people that did understand what Brexit meant, and there's a lot of people that didn't understand what Brexit meant. Unfortunately, the people who didn't understand what Brexit meant were more the majority than what the people who did understand what Brexit meant. So now, on the people who understood what Brexit meant, there was a lot of people who were for and against. And either way, by the by, arguments. But the problem is the people who didn't understand what Brexit meant voted whatever way they did and ruined it for everyone else. So everyone else that voted one way or the other is tarnished by the other side by the people that didn't understand what was going on. So basically, no one really has a bloody Scoobies what's happening. So I'd be surprised if we leave at this rate. I have honestly no clue what's going to happen. So it'll be a funny one. But rest assured, I'll still be here. You just have no idea in what capacity. So, Surreal's in. Oh, Surreal, you missed it. We had a troll in. You missed it. We had a troll in. You would have loved it. Brexit, you mean make the pound worthless? Yes, sir. Yes, it did. Underdog Paintings in the house. Hello, sir. Fine custom made in the UK. Most of the miniatures are to bar-like terrain. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, the kits, as I said, I wasn't sure because they don't. I know some of them, like the train kits, yes, they are made in China. They're actually, you can tell they're a different kind of plastic, and the quality is not as good. It's incredible how much there is a difference, but you can tell straight away. You're like, oh, that's from China. Imagine I would have to need to correct the trolls grammar again. Yes, 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 yes. The big red London bus syndrome, you mean? Yeah, that was dumb. uh, yeah, yeah, surreal. There's. I'm not going to delve any more into Brexit because there are some people, in the UK who are very, very sensitive about it. Like, very, very, very sensitive about it. And your statement is is felt by a lot of people in the UK, and a lot of people understood what was going on. That was their thought process, for it. What is that? I'm not going to delve into it anymore, really. But for anyone who doesn't understand Brexit, um, on the UK side of things, and this is just to give you a heads up, like no one has a bloody clue what's going on. Like no one, no one knows what's happening. They don't know what's going on. Everyone's looking at the MPs and going, "You know what's going on?" And they're like, "Nope." They're like, "Right." So they looked at everyone else. They're like, "Do you know what's going on?" They're like, "Nope." And yet there's still people going around going, "It's your fault." You're like, "What's my fault? I don't know what's happening." And that is basically the state we're in. Like, no one knows what's going on. So, and that's where we'll leave the Brexit talk for this evening because it's not something we don't want to talk about politics. This is a wargaming show. We are apparently a 40-year-old with the mind of what did he say? I was over 40 playing with toy soldiers, and I had not progressed past being a 3-year-old or something like that. So it shows the regression. I didn't really understand the thought process. He's like, you're 14, you're playing with toy soldiers. And I'm like, well, first off, I'm not over 40. Second of all, um, so what? What am I supposed to be doing? Oh, drinking my life away? Yeah, great. All I'm going to get is liver cancer from that. So, and it's quite funny. People like that I always find really entertaining as well because they're like, "Oh yeah, you're a child still." And I'm like, the other day I had to knock down a wall and put up a new door in, right? So like a child cannot do that, and I've got to organize my mortgage, and I've got to tear up the floor in my bedroom and re-nail the boards down, re-sand the floor so I can put in a walk-in cabinet wardrobe thing, and then put carpet down. How many children can do that? I think this is my reward for doing adult stuff. I'm allowed to be a kid again, so. But it was entertaining, Surreal. You would have loved it. It was amazing. Bazooka J Rambo was correct in the grammar, and everyone else was being relatively oh, it was a good time. I've never had a troll before. That's really it's made me chuckle. I feel good. uh, Surreal. You could get in trouble for that stuff. It's really funny though. Bazooka J Rambo said, "I tattoo pregs across my forehead just to annoy people." The COD calls. Have a nice night. Good night, Ralph. Take it steady, mate. Yeah, I know it was just a troll, but it was quite funny. I finally never really had a troll before. I feel I feel blessed. Uh, uh, when was the last time I was in GW for a few games? Now, the last time I go into GW because I'm friends with the store manager. Or I'm friends with a couple of the employees actually, and I have a good chat. One of them is now get this right. He's an ex-policeman. I think he's around his 50s, something like that. Really nice guy. and he does the sacrilege sin. He talks to me about other war games. Like, he talks to me about Protoss and AVP stuff, and like hero clicks and stuff like that. And I'm like, you would be shot by, like, they'll come down to hunt you, and they'll ban you from everywhere for talking like that. But he's really good, really good. I'm friends with the manager, but last time I went in for a game was the manager, who was my friend, was teaching me how to play Shadespire. I how do I say this without being really offensive? I don't like some of the people that go into Games Workshop and the way they talk. very, very kind of careful with what I say here. The basic problem I have is that it's always the same people in there, and they're nice enough people, but is getting the rules right so important to you that you end up you come across as a douchebag? Like, is it that important that you are right? I I don't understand some of the mentality. It baffles me. I'm a kid in a grown man's body. When I say grown man, the 5'6" version of a grown man's body, and I don't know why winning the game is so important. It is not to me. Like, hanging out with my mates and having a good time. That's the important things in life. That's the stuff you remember. You probably won't remember winning games that often. You may remember losing games because you'll probably rewrite your army list to do it. But if you lost your game and you had a good time, that's a win to me. Because you learned something, you're like, okay, that's how I got beat. But I had a fun time. So, as long as you can have a good time, then I'm all for it. But there's some people which are good and some people which are really annoying. And unfortunately, the good people are hanging around with the really annoying people. And you can see them, they've probably got patience better than me, because they want, they're probably, yeah, they can tolerate these people. They're just like, oh, they're just being stupid. I have less toleration for that. Chapter Master Valrex in the house. Hello, sir. We're talking about fun stuff. We've had trolls in. We've been talking about Brexit. It's been going nuts. So, and I'm painting lots of rats. So, Chapter Master Valrex as well. You'll like it. I've got a Custodes commission coming in soon, so I've got some cool plans for what he wants to do. So I've been chatting with him, and yeah, I think it's like 15 bikes, 3 assassins. I think that's it. 15 bikes and 3 assassins is his army list. And I was like, oh, that's disgusting. He said he had 4 shield captains on bikes. And I was like, what is wrong with you? He's like, yeah, I know, it's gross. And I was like, all right, I'll paint it. So I've got some, hopefully, I'm going to try a new trick to get gold and red eagle wings on the bike. We'll see how it goes. But if it works out well, I'll do a tutorial and I'll show you. But yes, we were talking about the people in Games Workshop, and yeah, unfortunately, as I said, there's the good and the bad, and the good people have probably got more patience than I do because they hang around with the bad. I just have no time for the bad. I'm just like, oh, does it matter that you're right so much? Because now I think you're a douche. So yeah, the staff are friendly enough. They don't press themselves onto you. They just generally do what people in retail shops are supposed to do and go, all right, guys, you after anything? Do you need help? And you go, no. And they're like, okay, no problem. I'll leave you alone. Whereas I know they used to be really pushy and it was really annoying, but they seem to have toned it back a bit, which is really good. I like that. So yeah, so we're doing it right. This is Ratty Ratman so far. Yes, I did see that Valrak your Forge Bane order. That is really cool. Incredibly jealous that you got that, but already got 4 with my name on it. Yeah, surreal. I've seen your collection. That's bonkers. That is absolutely nuts. When you said about me painting them as well, I was like, oh god, that will take me a year, but yeah. Best of luck if you can find a painter to paint all of that. Yeah, if I was stateside, I'd probably contact you and see what you wanted to do about it, but it might just be too brutal going from UK to America. We shall see. Yeah, 15 bikes. It was day. It was day. Yeah, your Forge Bane. If anyone hasn't seen as well, if you go to Valrak's channel, I put a video up. There's a opportunity to win a copy of Forge Bane in affiliation with Element Games. So if you're interested, go over, check out the channel. There's a video which I have entered as well. So if you win, if I sent you there and you win it because of me and I don't win it, then I'm just going to stop telling people to go to other people's channels. So I'm only joking. Go over there, enter the competition, show them some love, see what I can do. Or if you win it, and I sent you there, let me have one half you don't want. Hey, how about that for a deal? It's only a joke, by the way. I'm very much torn between doing a Mechanicus and a Necron army though. Right now, I'm like, oh, what could be fun there? I'm thinking Necrons. But the guy I'm doing the Custodes for, he did a conversion for cultists for his Chaos army with Gene Stealer cult, and but with Skitari heads, and was really good, like really good. And I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to nick that. And yeah, now I'm on the kind of hunt around for like Skitari heads and Gene Stealer cult bodies and stuff like that. But as you can see, I have a very messy desk because I have a lot to do. So yes, will I ever get round to it? Maybe not. Maybe not. But because I have to do real life stuff, like I have to fix a new bathroom door because that's just coming off its hinges for some reason. I cannot tell you why. But yes, your bathroom door is one of the doors you need to be intact and shutting because it's one of the ones where the toilet is. So, yes, that's kind of an emergency which needs doing. But I need to figure out how to put the door frame in. So I've been researching and I've got the tools and I'm going to give it a go. I may end up taking a wall down, but hey, I tried. Cyril says, "Are you kidding? I might be coming over to England in September. Gonna end emptying all my bags and filling them with plastic. Oh dear Lord." Are you taking a trip over to Warhammer World by any chance? Yep. What you could do is just make it an annual thing. Come over with all your models in a bag. I'll take them, paint them. It'll take me about a year. And then next time you come over with the other stuff you bought. I'll take that, paint it. I'll give you your stuff back, and you can fill up your bags again. So yeah, something like that might work. So yes, it's been a good stream. I like these late night streams. They're a lot more entertaining. Everyone's got a little bit more energy until it gets to a bit later, and then everyone just goes, "I'll just go to sleep." Not just Warhammer World. It's a week of all major mini spots in jolly old England. Where are you thinking of heading? This is interesting. What do What's well known to Americans about England? Because English people, we know our stuff. Anyone off to salute this year? I am. I shall be there, Bazooka J. So maybe catch you up again. I've got to try and find that 5-headed dragon thing from Reaper Bones. It's got to be somewhere. Um, yeah, I went. I wonder what's well known to Americans about England, like apart from London and Big Ben and that lot. What other places are well known to Americans about England? Yeah, hopefully Hadrian's Wall. Oh, that's good. Um, just look up Geek Nations tours. Ooh, I'll have to do that. Interesting. I didn't even know there was such a thing. Hadrian's Wall's cool. That'd be a cool one too. I haven't actually been up there yet, but that would be cool to see. You could come down my neck of the woods and see Stonehenge. Because I live in the same county as Stonehenge. It's quite funny. You talk about Stonehenge, and it's just a load. Like, every time I drive past it, it's just a load of tourists or a load of hippies. And it's just like, okay. You've seen it once, you're like, oh, rocks. Yay. Rocks. They're big rocks. Like, they are huge. Like, enormous. They're still rocks. So, right. Ladies and gents, I'm going to wrap this one up because the rat is nearly done. I'll give you a quick glimpse in a moment when I've done this last highlight. Man, I need to teach Sam how to paint. He took ages to do those 30 gauze. I need to show him how to deal with speed painting and how to accept work that is not 100% perfect and just go with what is good. Or learn the tricks to get around being messy. I need to talk to him. He will get there one day. One day he will learn to just accept. It may not look as good, but it is done. Oh, okay. They do Doctor Who, Sherlock Holmes, The Castles, Civil War Battlefields. They even have a Adepticon tour, German beer tour, Cold War spies, Illuminati tour. Oh wow, how interesting! I didn't even know there was something like that out there. That is incredible. See, there's just many elements of this world that I'm not up to speed with. So, but that's why you talk to people, so you can find out about 'em. Right, nearly done, nearly done, nearly done, nearly done, ladies and gents. And cool. Right, quick show off, and then I'm gonna end the show. So that's him up to pinky highlight now. He just needs a wash on him, and then he should end up looking like this one. Then he can go on a base, and I can move on to the next. So, right, okay. I'm going to end it here. Thank you very much for watching, guys. It's been a very fun show. Hopefully, I shall catch you all sometime soon in the future. I may get some more done tomorrow. If I do, I'll let you know. But if not, be good, stay safe, and hopefully I'll catch you all next time. See you later, gents. Bye bye.